Okay, so these word problems are converting customary units, and I did not do a mini lesson for this section, just a practice. So these are a lot like the ones that you're going to see on Khan Academy. I just changed the names, I changed the numbers a little bit. So when you're going through Khan Academy, if you get to one you don't know how to do, you can come back to this video, watch the one that's a lot like it, and then hopefully you can apply that knowledge. So let's go ahead and try some of these. We're going to work through all of them together. There's 8 total problems. Okay, so first, a fish tank has 200 quarts of water. Landon adds another 120 quarts to the tank. How many gallons of water are in that fish tank? So 5th graders, first of all, we need to figure out just how many quarts there are. So if there's 200 quarts and Landon comes along and adds 120 quarts, that's going to be 320 quarts. Okay, so that's how many quarts you have, but that's not the question they're asking. They want to know how many gallons that is. Okay, so again, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, okay, well look, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So 1 gallon is 4 quarts, QTs. So if I have 320 quarts, how many gallons is that? Okay, so I'm looking at this problem over here right now. Okay, so I need to do, well, 4 times, well, I can look at 32, okay, because I can say 4 times 8 is 32. So 4 times 80 would be 320. So 1 times 80 is going to give me 80 gallons. So there's going to be 80 gallons of water in that fish tank. That's going to be a big fish tank. Okay, so notice it's a little bit of a 2-part problem. We got to think through the problem and then go ahead and try to answer it. Remember, those conversions down here on the bottom will be given to us in Khan Academy. Let's try our next problem. Bella picked 36 pounds of peaches in her orchard. She divided the peaches evenly between 6 large baskets. How many ounces of peaches did Bella put in each basket? Okay, so if she has 36 pounds, and she's splitting that into 6 baskets. Well, I can do that in my head. 36 divided into 6 would be 6 pounds in every basket. Okay, but they didn't want to know how many pounds. They want to know how many ounces. Okay, so again, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at ounces and pounds. Here's ounces and pounds. Okay, so 1 pound, oops. 1 pound is 16 ounces. So if I have right here 6 pounds, I want to know how many ounces that is. Well, 1 times 6 is 6, so I have to do 16 times 6. So 16 times 6, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 96 ounces in each one of those. So I had to take the peaches and divide them into each basket first, and then figure out, once I knew how many pounds were in each basket, figure out how many ounces were in each basket. Olivia buys 9 feet of ribbon to make bracelets, She needs 18 inches of ribbon to make a bracelet. So how many bracelets can Olivia make if she uses all the ribbon she buys? Okay, well, I've got 9 feet and I've got 18 inches. So I need to first change that 9 feet into inches. So I know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So if I have 9 feet, how many inches is that going to be? Well, 1 times 9 is 9, so 12 times 9. Whew, I don't know that, so I'm going to work that out over here. 12 times 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 1 is 9, so that's 108 inches. Okay, so right now she's got 108 inches to make bracelets. She uses 18 inches to make a bracelet, so how many bracelets can she make if she uses all the ribbon? Okay, so now I'm going to look and I'm going to say, well, if she has 108 inches divided into 18, so I need to figure out how many times does 18 fit into 108. Well, 18 times 8 is going to be, 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so 8 is too much. So let's try 6. 18 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 more. Okay, so 18 fits into 108 6 times. So that means she can make 6 bracelets that'll each be 18 inches long. Okay? That gets a little bit tricky. Okay, remember, you'll see very similar problems to this on Khan Academy. You could always come back and look at these examples. Cammie's fitness trainer recommends that she drinks 12 fluid ounces of water 6 times a day. How many cups does Cammie drink in one day? So first we need to figure out how many ounces she drinks in a day. If she drinks 12 ounces 6 times, so 12 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 more. So she drinks 72 ounces. Okay, which is a lot. Now we need to figure out how many cups that is. Okay, well, ounces is right here. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So 1 cup is 8 fluid, ounces. So if I have 72 ounces, 8 times 9 is 72. So 1 times 9, so that would be 9 cups of water. Okay? Next one. See if you can figure out what steps you would take to solve this one. Twins Rob and Rick were just born. Rob weighs 7 pounds, 5 ounces. Rick weighs 6 pounds, 3 ounces. How many ounces do Rob and Rick weigh together? So think in your head what your first step would be here. What would you do? Okay, my first step, I'm going to get rid of these pounds and change them to ounces. So Rob is 7 pounds. Well, 1 pound, again, I'm coming down here to look, is 16 ounces. So if Rob was 7 pounds, okay, so 1 times 7 is 7, so 16 times 7. So 16 times 7, 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 1 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 112 ounces, but it's 7 pounds and 5 ounces. So Rob is 7 pounds would be 112 plus 5, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So Rob is 117 ounces. So now let's do Rick. Rick was 6 pounds. So here, instead of that 7, I'm going to make that a 6 because Rick was 6 pounds. So times 6, so 16 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9. So Rick is 96 ounces plus 3 more ounces, which is 99 ounces. Okay, so I just changed their weights into completely by ounces. And then it says, how much do they weigh together? Well, for most 5th graders, they're going to say, hey, together, when we're asking how much something is together, that's going to be adding. So 117 plus 99. 9 plus 7 is 16. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus another one is 11, and then 1 plus 1. So they're going to be 216 ounces together. Okay, this next one, see if you can think what your first step would be as I'm reading it out loud. Kayla built a fence that was 28 feet long over 4 days. She built the same length of fence each day. How many inches of fence did Kayla build each day? So her fence was 28 feet long and it took her 4 days. Okay, so how much would she have built each day? If she built 28 feet and it took her 4 days. So 28 divided by 4 is going to be 7. So she built 7 feet of that fence every single day because 4 days, 7 feet the first day, then 7, then 7, then 7 gives us our 28 feet. But now it doesn't want to know how many feet, it wants to know how many of those were inches. So 7 feet is how many inches? Well, 1 foot is 12 inches. So 7 feet is how many inches? Well, 1 times 7 is 7, so 12 times 7. So I'm going to work that out down here. 12 times 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 1 is 7, 8. So that's 84 inches of fence that she built each day. All right, 2 more. Stay with me, we can do this. Jaleel made 10 pints of ice cream. He gave a quart to his neighbor and then made milkshakes with half of the remaining ice cream. How many quarts of ice cream did Jaleel use to make milkshakes? All right, so my very first thing is, most of this is talking about quarts. So let's get rid of that 10 pints and make it into quarts. Well, 1 pint, whoops, sorry, I go down here. 2 pints is 1 quart. So if he has 10 pints, 2 times 5 is 10, so 1 times 5 is 5. So that's 5 quarts. So he's got 5 quarts of ice cream. He gave 1 quart to a neighbor, so that leaves him 4 left. And then he made milkshakes with half of the remaining. So if he had 4 and he made milkshakes with half of that, that means he used 2 quarts to make his ice cream. Okay, very last problem. Thanks for sticking with me. We can do it. We got this in us. Okay, on Thursday, Movie Town Theater made 4/5 of their popcorn with butter. The remaining 25.6 ounces was made without butter. How many pounds of popcorn did Movie Town Theater make on Thursday? Okay, so if I know that 4/5 was made with butter, so 4/5 butter, that means 1/5 no butter. Right? Because 4/5 and 1/5 would be 5/5, which is a whole. Okay? And I know that that 1/5 without butter was 25.6 ounces. So the 1/5 with no butter was 25.6 ounces because they tell us that 25.6 was without butter. So that means if 1/5 is this much, then 4/5 is going to be this much plus this much, plus this much, plus this much. It's going to be 4 of these. If this is 1/5, we need 4 of those fifths. So I need to do 25.6 times 4. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 5 is 20, 21, 22. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10. And then my decimal goes right here. So that means 4/5 is 102.4. Okay, so how many pounds did they make? We still have to know how much total popcorn. It doesn't care about butter or not butter. So I know that 1/5 is this much. So 4/5 is going to be 25.6 plus 25.6 plus 25.6 plus 25.6, or I multiplied it out. Okay, so this is how much butter there is. This is how much no butter there is. So to figure out how much total popcorn now, I've got to add that up. 102.4 plus 25.6. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Drop my decimal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 1. So that's 128 ounces. And they still are not happy. They want us to figure it out in pounds. So we did a lot of the work. We figured out our ounces. Okay, now we got to switch that up into pounds. So if I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces, and I have 128 ounces, how many pounds is that going to be? So I'm going to do my guess and check method, and I'm going to say, okay, 16 times 8 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I guessed it right the first time. So that's 16 times 8 is 128. So 1 times 8 is 8, which means it's going to be 8 pounds of popcorn. That's a lot of popcorn. Okay, awesome job. I hope you stuck with it. Remember, you can come back and look at these problems at any time. They're very, very similar to the ones on Khan Academy.